Oh, hey guy, I got something rare for you today. For you. Oh,
Fun and games. Billions of dollars here, huh?
lots of money, lots of money.
Well, this is something different than the normal pennies. Today is 1 week before Thanksgiving. It's a Thursday. It is the 20th of the 21st. What's today?
It's the 20th.
The 20th of November. I did the Great American Teach-In yesterday. Had a bunch of kids. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But they brought up the penny. And then my son calls me about the penny ending. The kids at the school knew the penny's ending. And they said, well, my aunt owns a diner, and she says those pennies are going to accumulate, and we're going to be out these pennies. People, do not hype about the penny. They made, now hold on to your seats, I did some research, I did some math. They made, just for instance, they made 1.7 billion Indian head pennies. That's not going to be included in what people are going to sell for scrap. 1.7 billion. They made 28 billion wheat pennies. In 1959, 1.9 billion pennies, just for 1 year. The first year of the memorial reverse, more pennies were made than all the Indians that were made in the 50 years that the Indian head pennies were produced. Okay? So there were 1.9 billion that year. We did the math just to give you some breakdowns. Over 600 billion, with a B, pennies have been produced since 1909. Give or take a billion, 600 billion. So they're never really going to be rare. 2,000 years from now, when we get visitors to this planet, probably in the rubble, they're going to find state quarters and pennies. That'll be everywhere. 28 billion wheat pennies were made. There are approximately 145 pennies to the pound, just to give you an idea. Now, that doesn't matter if they're wheat pennies, but it does matter if they're pre-82 pennies. Because after 82, the composition changed from 95% copper to 95% zinc. So the zinc pennies are not going to have so much metal value as the copper pennies. Copper's at $5 a pound. At 145 pennies to the pound, they're worth over 3 cents a piece melt. They're basically worth melt what it costs to make them now, just to give you an idea. We will survive the end of the penny. They got rid of the half penny, and the world was fine. They got rid of pennies in Canada, as I explained to the kids. They stopped making pennies in Canada in 2012. I was up there in 2019. There was no mention. It was no big deal. A lot of people use credit cards. If you use digital and you use credit cards, the pennies will be added in. Otherwise, you round up or you round down. I haven't taken pennies and change in 5 years. When I'm at the supermarket and I need 2 or 3 pennies, I say keep the pennies. I don't say keep the change, but I do say keep the pennies. It's not worth the trouble. And as I said, don't get too crazy is what I told the kids. There will always be pennies out there. If people decide to hoard them and put them in bags, now this is a bag of Lincoln pennies, but these ain't your average pennies. This is a bag of uncirculated. Some are brown from sitting in the bag, but this was a mint-sewn bag. This I would get a premium for. This is a mint-sewn bag. I have another closed bag. This is 1965. This is a mint-sewn bag of 1965s. But I have plenty of the 1959 pennies to the 1981 pennies. I think we have about 100,000. I had a guy in the store, and he bought a bunch off of me. I'm selling them for 2 cents a piece. Maybe I should make them 3 cents, the same price as wheat pennies, especially if there's going to be a hyper craze about it. But they are making they made 1.3 billion pennies this year. Okay? 1.3 billion. Now, the penny isn't going to disappear completely. They're going to still make pennies for the proof sets, in the future years, they will make them for proof sets and they will make them for mint sets. It may raise the price of both the mint sets especially, because if you got to fill in your albums, you got to get that penny, and you can't get it, cheap. You're going to have to probably buy a mint set to get it. That'll be we'll have to cross that bridge when it comes to it. But they made 1.3. In the year 2020 alone, they made 14 billion pennies. Last year, they made 3,200,000,000. Billion. I mean, there's a lot of pennies out there. I wouldn't get too crazy about it. As I said, I did the math. They made somewhere like 170 billion between 1959 and 1981. The ones that are really copper pennies, 170 billion. 170 billion. Now, those are going to have a value for their copper. I can see that happening in the future. From what I understand, in Canada, you can melt pennies. I don't know what they're paying for copper pennies here. But the problem here is you got to get the copper pennies pre-82, and everybody here will mix them together and try and sell them. I have mine separated. All of the pre-82s I have on the shelf, and I have over 100,000. I just put them away. To me, it's like a hobby. I throw them in there when they come in the store. I fill these buckets every year. I mean, as that fills up, I put it in the back. So that's covering pretty much the pennies.
Well, they are doing something, though, this year.
Yes.
Yeah, they did two things, actually.
The Mint is getting in on the action. They're going to have an auction on... Stax is going to have an auction on the 11th of December. They're going to put together 3 coin sets of pennies. There's going to be a P and a D and a gold penny to commemorate the end of the penny. 232 lots, a P and a D, and a gold penny, and they're going to sell them in lots. My son called me all about it. He's all hyped up. He wants, he's going to bid on it. I don't know how much they're going to go for. Are they going to be $5,000? What is the bidding going to start at? Are they going to be $10,000? How much does the gold coin weigh? It'll probably be pure gold, but, 3 pennyweights, maybe you got $500 in the penny.
I wonder if they were making a tenth.
They might make it a tenth.
Like the Mercury dime.
To get it the size of a penny, it might weigh more than a tenth.
Yeah.
That's a good question. It might get thinner. There could be, it could be 400 or 500 in gold in the penny alone that's going to be made of gold. But with 232, I might bid on it because there's only 232 specially sealed in these sets. 5,000, 6,000, I'd probably be interested in. 30,000, 40,000, I'll wait for one to come across the counter. But also I heard Nathan was telling me something about an Omega coin where they're going to grab but I heard the 232 will be the last group coming off the machine. Maybe they'll grab another 5. I don't know. It's up in the air, but it's in 2 weeks. Or 3 weeks. So they got to give a little. It'll probably be in Coin World, some of the information. But the kids were all hyped about the pennies, and I explained that. I had about 80 children. I did 3 classes. Everybody got gifts. And I talked to them. I showed them what I usually talk about. The girls wrote, they gave me letters at the end. The girls were all hyped about the love tokens. I told them where to find me. Come visit me. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy working with the young people. I've got to see, I talked to the teachers there, and I get residuals from these videos now. I get some royalties, and I'm going to share part of that with the children. I've talked to them there. I got to go see them after Christmas. I want to set up something where I can give them some money toward clothes, food, whatever they want to do with it. And I just think I want to do that. I enjoy the young people. They're our future, and I'm just trying to educate them. They were a handful. I had mostly 7th and 8th graders, but I think I got to a few. I got questions. They were all hyped about the penny. They knew about it. Now I'm just relating the information. Don't get hooked on paying $1 a piece for pennies. I mean, even the new to 25 rolls of 2025, I'm sure they're going to try and get $100 a roll out there, something crazy. 1.3 billion were made. That means that there's what? 3 or 4 for everybody in the country. I wouldn't get crazy about it. Any other question?
No, that covers everything about the pennies.
Yeah, so this was my 2 cents about the 1 cent. 600 billion pennies were made from 1909 to this year. 600 billion. They will never be rare. So take a breath and just go on with your life. God bless America, greatest country in the world. Thank you.